I am legally required to advise you that you are now live on freethinkradio.com.
.com.
Let's play that beautiful, sweet theme song. Because I'm sure right now, all of the viewers of Free Think Radio are going, wait a second. These three guys just cut into the stream. Who are they? What's the name of the show? What are they doing? Well, this theme song explains it all, and we'll see you on the other side. You bet your ass it is. Time for the show on freethinkradio.com.
Yay!
Hey, wait, who's that? Is that you, Fox?
That's me. I'm just coming around this corner right here, and wow, look at that. Once again, I bumped into you at like 10 o'clock in this hallway with the microphone. How are you doing?
Every Monday at 10 p.m., we come around the same corner, bump into each other, and spill all our textbooks on the ground.
It's the same corner, and you would think that one of us would, we keep bumping into one another. Maybe we should come from different corners next time.
And there comes Peas waddling in.
Here, I'm going to knock his books out of his hand. Watch this.
Hi, Peas. First of all, let's do this right away. It's only 7 o'clock where I'm at. And I was wisely shifted to the side so you couldn't knock my books down. And I'm like, both of you get on your own corners, bitches, because this corner's mine. I'm Nevada Peas.
I can see that you got your fishnets on. Looks like you're going to be working the quite hard tonight.
The funniest member of Time for the Show.
Absolutely, as interpreted by Showrogan. Our growing depth of artificial stupidity.
Showrogan's a little bit of pain in the ass.
A little bit, but maybe we'll make him a bigger pain in the ass. Who knows? Hi, Peas.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm sleepy.
Are you sleepy? Well, it's late where you're at in the great western states of Florida. West
That's
of the
right.
Azores. Tip of the top of the Caribbean. Now it's now I know you're not really there anymore, but I've read some interesting things about Orlando and Disney World, and that they are no longer gonna be able to police themselves. They're gonna have to get state services and pay for them now. Is that all the buzz in the Spanish Republic of Havana?
Yes, over here in the future capital of the former Spanish Empire, the heart of America's California, Orlando, Florida, Disney World is shut down. They will not open. It's all over. Michael Eisner stopped by, and they had him dig up that stuff he buried under the sidewalk a few years ago. I haven't found what's in that box. Bob Iger, one of my favorite guys named Bob. He swung by, he shook everybody's hand, gave him one last paycheck, then he got on the float with Goofy. Or is it the flute with Goofy? I like that. Where's my favorite cartoon character? Goofy.
It's my understanding though that all three of those executives are expected to land on their feet because they are working with Scott Adams to create Dilbert Land, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, Peas. Save it for the show, buddy.
I thought we were doing show. I thought it was show. I thought we already.
But it's not show yet until Fid reads the show notes out loud. That's his favorite part of the show. Bum bum bum.
We were doing show already.
Nah, haven't even gotten there yet.
That's
Well,
probably
my
the
favorite
best
part
I
of the
have.
show is where we pretend to say hi to each other at the beginning.
That's a good part.
My second favorite part of the show is reading the show notes and, skim through, and it looks like we've got a show to do tonight. You guys have your show goggles on?
Yeah, and I've got my prescription show goggles on. I have my sun protection UV filter show goggles on. I also have the ones that highlight anything that's unfunny, and I got to tell you, this page is glowing.
I've got my J.K. Rowling fan alienator kit set to 6.
Well, since we all happen to bump into each other right here, and I've got these notes in front of us, let's jump right into the show.
Let me just open my beverage into the microphone. There we go.
What better place to start than line one of show notes? It says,
what kind
Klimt
of beverage do you think it is?
Bahoosh. Line 2 of the show notes says, time for the show 213. Dilbert does Dallas. Line 3, TFTS relay 022723.
That's a good
Line
one.
4 should say, Fid, turn yourself up. But it doesn't say that. I'm just going to go ahead and take it upon myself to do that anyway. And yeah, give me some of that volume. Oh, crank it. How do I sound, fellas?
Oh, beefy.
I don't care. That was a trick question. Line 4 does say, Fid, do not read this part on the air. Line 5 says, Shift 10 Zolmlev Rifkisnin Zok Yiskiv Uli Garsh Arim Zigrits Exarfi.
Can't say that on the radio.
All you kids at home can decode that, unscramble those words, and tell us what today's secret phrase is. Line 6 of the show notes says, Fid, read this part on the air. And guess what, guys? Line 7 of the show notes is blank. Line 8 of the show notes says, broadcasting live on freethinkradio.com. Welcome to Time for the Show, the only show that will leave you questioning your very existence. Join us as we take a deep dive. Actually, I watched an episode of The View last week, and that made me question my own existence as well. I don't know if we can say we're the only show. Join us as we take a deep dive into the abyss of the unknown and explore the darkest corners of the human psyche. Our hosts, Dr. Argus Fox, Reverend Pease, and Fid Julie, will guide you on a journey through the twisted and macabre, where nothing is quite as it seems. We'll discuss topics that make your skin crawl and your mind spin, leaving you questioning your sanity and your place in the world. So buckle up, listeners, because it's time to enter the world of Time for the Show. And remember, once you enter, there may be no turning back. Did Showrogan write that? That sucked.
I know, mine are usually better.
It's like he got it off of line 11 is blank, and line 12 appears to be more content from Showrogan, our ChatGPT based Time for the Show AI. He loves these poems. All right. A sardonic ode to show. 3 hosts with sardonic wit. Their jokes hit hard and never quit. Their humor's dark, their banter slick. Time for the Show, a satirical hit.
We do bits. And sometimes throw fits.
I think Showrogan is trying to take over the show.
Well, don't think. Just do the show.
Line 17 of the show notes is blank. Line 18 says, Segment 1, you hit my recap. The hosts provide a short recap of what they've been up to since the last episode.
That's a good part of the show.
And then I think we're supposed to do that because line 20 of the show notes is blank.
Well,
Who's your you hit my recap, Bees?
I'm preparing to go back to work after a bout with. As I've said many times before, I thought cancer would be much more fun than it has been, but it turns out that I go back to work this Wednesday, which is the day after tomorrow. So I was gonna do a bunch of like last minute adventures and stuff, but I mostly have spent the time drinking super heavily. Um,
gotta
so
catch up.
yeah, I guess. But so now I'm trying to get back. Like I have one more day to get my Stella back, and that's a pretty good obscure reference. They're remaking another version of that movie, so I'm hoping that joke by the time you listen to this will be funny. I'm miffed. I'm a little bit miffed, but I can't discuss it right now. Something happened. I think that another radio show is kind of dicking me a little bit, and I'm not happy about it. But it is what it is. But we'll move. I'm very stoic now, so I don't like to complain. I don't
Well, I
like to
That's
definitely want to
why
hear
complain.
they
about
call
that
him
later.
Reverend Good
No,
Radio Peas. It's great radio.
but that's
I got another
uh,
thing that's going on, but I'm not going to talk about it. But I am going to tell you that it exists. So that's fun. The viewers, it gets left up to their imagination what this other problem that you're having in your life right now is.
well,
It's
I'm
like,
not
why
gonna.
tell them?
Not. I mean, here's the thing. Again, I'm trying to be. I'm trying to be nicer. I'm trying to be like I used to order a lot from Uber Eats, but now I just get up and go to the car and go get it myself. And I think it's a big step for me as a person. But it's a lot. It's a big change. There's been other changes that I've made, like I shook the cat box a little bit to get a little bit more life out of the bag, so I wouldn't have to change it. Just little things that make you appreciate things a little bit more. But part of that might be because I got a cowboy hat too now. And cowboy hat, when you start wearing a cowboy hat, you start getting a little bit more cowboy attitude about stuff. Like I didn't walk by, but I drove by this corral today, and I was looking to see if they had any livestock out there that maybe needed cowboying. They didn't. Probably. Carrot says luckily for me, but nonetheless, I probably would have gave it a shot with my cowboy hat on.
Now that's what I'm talking about. That is a good. You hit my recap. I got a cowboy
Nice.
hat.
Nice.
Well played. I don't know if I can top. I got a cowboy hat.
Nope. I can't. I got my recap, and it's nowhere like that.
All right, who's your you hit my recap?
I went to the zoo. I took my kid to the zoo, and it was a pretty lackluster experience. The little train, because everybody goes to the zoo to ride the train. That's what you really go for, right? I was looking forward to like squeezing in to the caboose and looking like some sort of malfarmed dairy farmer, and ride the back. I was really looking forward to that. Didn't get to do that. Went specifically, not just for the train, but was going to feed the giraffes. Was looking really into going up and examining that prehensile tongue. Maybe get some ideas to take back home. You know what I'm saying? Eat the branch. Just eat this stick. But alas, no. I was not allowed to feed the giraffes. The giraffes had decided the night before that they had a little roommate trouble, and they kind of had it out. And one of the as not the zookeeper, but the attraction attendant put to me, one of them's got a really gnarly gash on his neck. And of course, I look over, and the thing is nothing but neck. It took me 10 minutes to even find the gnarly gash. And I was also disappointed that there were no toys. I was under the impression that giraffes would have toys, and it didn't happen. The black bear habitat, we went over to that. And my wife said, let's go over to the bear house. And I said, hey, bucko. They prefer the term Ursine dormitory. Because the other one is a leather bar.
Did you look for the white bears?
Well, you don't really have to look for the white bears. They're the ones they're really the ones that you see first.
See, I could write it, Dilbert. I could write a Dilbert cartoon.
That's pretty good. You can have a bear with pointy hair.
Yeah, I'll do some Far Sides next.
Oh man, those are hard. That's hard.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Wait
I went to the zoo. Zoo, uneventful. I cracked jokes while I was there. Doesn't translate well to radio. So I just like to say boo to the zoo.
I don't think you're talking about the zoo at all. All this talk about long, thick necks and wet, open gashes and toys and bears. This is just a thinly veiled recap of your last experience at the BDSM castle, isn't it? The zoo. Is that what it's called?
No, but I've got a friend who can get us in.
Well, it was pretty hot. That was a good, sexy recap. Got my
I thought you just meant temperature-wise. It was very hot yesterday. But I appreciate the sentiment. Who's your busted recap, Fid Thule?
Well, as you know, I attended a wedding over the weekend, and my recap this week is a bullet dodged recap. I'm combining this new bit, You Hit My Recap, and then our long-standing fan favorite bit, Bullet Dodged.
It's a classic.
So I'm at the wedding, and I got this
of
cousin.
the century.
This cousin decides she wants to dance with me, and as soon as we got on the floor, the song stopped. So bullet dodged, because that would have been really weird if I got a boner.
Yeah, that's what you learn when you're slow dancing. Leave room for Jesus.
Line 20 of the show notes is blank. Line 21 says, segment 2, Pizzo Box. Send your viewer mail to email@timefortheshow.com.
.com.
Line 23 of the show notes says, caller is gay. And are you ready for the Pizzo Box, Peas? Because line 24 has got a question from one of our loyal listeners.
Sure.
Great, that's the spirit. Glad you're so excited to answer the viewer mail. You know, these viewers, they love you, Peas. They spend all week working on a letter to write to you, and they revise it, and they revise it, and they crumple it up and throw it away, start over, and they try all week just to get it perfect for you. And then they look forward to nothing more than you giving them an informed answer on their question. And I ask you if you're ready to answer some viewer mail, and you tell me, sure.
Well, here's why, Fit Julie, spearmint flavored, is that it seems lately that we're getting these kind of like letters, and they're not addressed to either one of us, they're just all three of us, and I guess that's okay, but they're not really questions, they're just kind of long-winded statements. But let's see, maybe I'm wrong this time, maybe this will be good, this will be a good one. Eventually one would have to be good, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, you just got to burn through all those duds. Now, normally, you just don't read those on the show. The bad ones. But our approach is that we feel like the more bad ones we read on the show, the more likely that the next one we read is going to be good.
Other shows have a whole screening process. and only the cream of the letters get through. Not our show. We will read any letter sent to us, some of them sexually inappropriate.
Some of them should be.
Yeah. Some have put us on watch lists, which has not been very fun, but I guess it is what it is. Read on!
Get a P.O. box.
First viewer mail is from Chuckleford Fizzlesnort of Flapjack Junction, Idaho, and it begins on line 25 of the show notes. I need to turn on the word wrap. It's hard to read and scroll at the same time.
Yeah.
Dear Time for the Show hosts, I'm writing to express my frustration with your constant attempts at being edgy. Let me tell you, being edgy doesn't equal being funny. You guys need to understand that you can be hilarious without resorting to saying controversial or offensive things. It's just lazy comedy. I mean, I don't want to sound like a stick in the mud, but it seems like you guys are trying too hard to compensate. That's not what it says at all. It says to be provocative.
.com.
Here
It's
comes
not
the
edgy.
question.
It's just annoying. Your jokes are like a dentist's drill. They just keep grinding and grinding, and I'm left feeling like I need a root canal. Please, for the love of all that is holy, try a new approach. I want to laugh, not cringe.
Okay, maybe this one was a
who-
listener.
Wait. Now,
real.
what was the person's name? J.K. Rowling?
That doesn't sound like Showrogan.
Yeah. That could be real. But here's the thing.
I was going to say, it's been listening.
Here's the thing, caller 23. We're not really that edgy either. But
Yeah, we're as
I wanna
edgy as a
know-
butter knife.
I think we should write a new bit that when the cities come out, like where the letter's from, like what was this one? Jasper Creek or Clowntown, Illinois? And then we should bet on whether those are real cities or not. Look them up on the Google Maps.
Is it a male?
Yeah, is
They
it a
play
male?
they play that game in Saudi Arabia.
Is it a city?
You beat me
Is it
to
the
it, you
woman?
son of a bitch.
Welcome
You're
to
welcome.
this week. Is it the woman?
We're waking up.
Abdul Muhammad Abjali here.
First off, I'd like to say to our writer, thank you for listening. We appreciate your feedback. Your continued participation in the reception of this product is greatly appreciated. And I would like to move to you, the party of the first part, i.e., you. Yeah, if we're edgy, then we make Bill Burr look like a sword made of razor blades. I mean, we have no edge. We are as edgy as a roller rink. So strap on your wheels and get your mouth guard. It's comedy roller derby time. I like that letter though. Good letter.
Wu-Tang ain't nothing to fuck with.
That's that Chinese place down on Pine Street, right?
Yep, Lee Ho fucks.
Line 29 of the show notes is blank. Line 30 of the show notes says,
Gonna get some
Dear
chicken
Dr.
chow mein.
Fox, Reverend Peas, and Fid Chuli, I hope this letter finds you well, although I doubt that it will. You see, I have a topic that I would love to hear you make jokes about, but I'm afraid it's one that's a bit too taboo for your show. I know you guys are edgy and love pushing the boundaries of what's acceptable, but I'm not sure even you can handle this one. The topic I'm referring to is taxes. Yes, taxes. I know. It's not exactly the most exciting or humorous topic out there, but I challenge you to find the humor in the IRS and the mind-numbing process of filing taxes. Can you make jokes about itemized deductions? Can you make the audience laugh with your witty takes on the tax code? I eagerly await your attempt at humor on this seemingly mundane topic. Who knows? Maybe you'll even convince me that taxes can be funny. And that
No.
came from Bud Lightyear residing in Beer City, USA.
Everybody knows the only thing
That's a
that's
real
funny
place.
about the only thing that's good about dying of cancer is that you don't have to think about your taxes no more because you're dead. How's that for a good answer? That's funny, right? That's edgy. Is that edgy enough? Is that funny enough? Where was this letter written from?
It was from Bud Lightyear in Beer City, USA.
Bud Lightyear. Everybody knows the only thing
That's a real place.
I think, you know what? I want a letter from Surf City, USA next time. From the surfing bird.
Itemized deduct 9/11.
Everybody's heard about him. He's the word. I like to say Papa Moo Mau Mau.
There's nothing funny about taxes. The thing is, if they already know how much money I owe them, why do they make me do the math? They already know what I owe them, because if I don't file, they'll send me a bill for whatever it is. How come I have to crunch the numbers? Isn't that what I'm paying you for?
Yeah, make the government work for us.
Isn't that my bit? Did you just steal my whole fucking tax bit? Like verbatim?
You had a bit?
I thought it's like. No, go ahead.
What
It's
bit?
funny. Go ahead. The whole
No,
tax bit thing. That why don't they just take what we owe them? They know what we owe them. Why do we got to play this fucking dance where they decide, oh, fill out this form and figure out what you owe us? You know what we owe you. Just take it out of my fucking check. I shouldn't have to get some of it back. Take out what you're supposed to have and leave me the fuck alone for the rest of the time. That, you know, oh, but your tax return, that basically makes me look stupid that I gave a stranger, a group of strangers, like a $3,000 interest-free loan because they were super cool to me. Go fuck yourself.
No, Pease, the thing is, I didn't quite steal your bit. We play by Quran rules here on Time for the Show. And
If
all of
it's less than 15 years old, it's your
Haram.
joke.
It's not haram.
Well, as all of our Muslim viewers know, whenever there's a contradiction in the Quran, then whichever one of the contradicting verses came later in the Quran supersedes the earlier one. So by me doing your bit after you did it, I actually made it my bit. So you're the one that retroactively ripped me off.
Yes, it's in the book of Mencia.
God damn you, Carlos. All right, well, that's good to know.
Good letter, whoever you were.
Good to know, yep.
That was from Bud Lightyear.
Not with that attitude it was.
Line 35 of the show notes is blank. Line 36 says, Segment 3, Culture Schlock. All right. And in case you forgot, line 37 of the show notes explains what that segment is, and it says, discuss the host's commentary on various aspects of popular culture, including music, film, television, and social media. This week's topic is Dilbert creator Scott Adams. And I know before the show, which we don't talk before the show, but when we hypothetically were, you were saying that Mr. Adams has found himself in the public light again, and I'm not up to speed with that. So why don't you catch me up with our viewers on what
I think I threw something in from Reuters on the show notes. That should be the next line. I don't have my notes open. I'm on my phone.
Oh, well, in fact, the next line of the show notes, line 38.
You know we're doing a show, right?
But yeah, you're correct. Line 39 of the show notes says, from Reuters, Okay, here we go.
Yeah, so you know it's true.
Scott Adams called Black Americans a hate group and suggested white Americans get the hell away from black people in a response to a conservative organization's poll purporting to show that many African Americans do not think it's okay to be white. And then there's a quote from him. If nearly half of all blacks are not okay with white people, that's a hate group, Adams said on his YouTube channel on Wednesday. And I don't want to have anything to do with them. his once popular comic strip, which lampoons corporate culture and was launched in 1989, will no longer be carried by the Los Angeles Times, the Washington Post, the USA Today affiliated group of newspapers, and others, the newspapers announced in statements on Friday and Saturday. All right.
I'd like to commend newspapers for doing it was absolutely the right thing to do, consciously, objectively, ethically, and it was in no means a way of saving ink and having to print another page with anything on it.
Well, if you think about it,
good call, Mr. Hurst.
And if you think about it, they are preventing tens of Americans from reading that cartoon.
That's absolutely correct.
Those 15 people that still subscribe to newspapers in various retirement homes and nursing communities, and then the occasional free lover who gets it at the library for nothing, reads it on a stick.
I love the slant too.
Take it home.
I love how they say the once popular comic strip and then proceed to name like the 5 biggest newspapers in the world that were carrying it.
Now, I will say, in all fairness to everybody involved, Scott Adams already does have some little KKK characters that he brings out from time to time. There's some of the more obscure Dilberts, but you'll see them in the books and stuff. And they are mostly making the KKK look stupid. So, you know, I don't know what to think about this. I'd like to think that he'd been misquoted because I kind of like the Dilbert comics. And I guess that's wrong of me to like things that are not palatable. Like I don't know why I gotta suck Scott Adams' dick and like everything that he says just because I like his cartoon strip. Can't I just like that cartoon strip and not give a shit about the rest of whatever he fucking says? I mean, I do it with actors all the time. I really like Alec Baldwin as an actor, but I don't like set my life goals to be what Alec Baldwin says when he's punching out a guy for taking his parking spot in New York City. You know, it's not
shooting somebody.
Or shooting somebody, you know, that's not something that, you know, I don't think I need to be involved in that kind of. But yeah, he's in this little rom-com. Sure, I like it. It's good. He's pleasant to look at. I don't know. J.K. Rowling, same thing. She said some things, and some people didn't agree with her. Now we're all supposed to not like her now. We got to not like Harry Potter. Look at this new Harry Potter video game. But you know, fuck it. You know, Mark Twain wrote about slavery. Like, can I not read Mark Twain anymore because we don't have slaves? Or you know, he did, as a white man, he did the slave voices and the vernacular as he heard it when he typed it. It's just so ridiculous, all the things that we go through. And, you know, if Scott did say that, I'm sure he said something to the effect, because it's not the first time Scott has said something. Well, maybe he'll learn something. Maybe some people in the black community will reach out and try to educate him. But you know, people in Scott's position.
No, I think that's what he's trying to avoid. I think he's trying to keep away from that.
Here's the thing: people in Scott's positions, they see certain things take place, and they focus on that. It's like being on Facebook too much. Oh well, all I look at is bad examples of black people, and all things that I hear are certain groups of black people that say bad things about white people. It's not. So then he makes this big, huge statement, but the reality is, I mean, I have tons of people that are my friends that are African American, Mexican, and Chinese, and from Hong Kong, and it's like, when you get down to it, outside
You
of
don't
the
know
internet,
any. You only know African Americans. You don't know any Mexican Americans or Asian Americans. You only know
well,
Mexicans
I like to
and
call people
Chinamen.
by their. Well, I think
And
they
whatever,
prefer the term
whatever with the
ornamental.
I
But
have
the
black
point that I'm
friends.
getting at, the white privilege point that I'm trying to make, is that I don't have any of these problems face to face with people. I really don't. I don't
No, it's
feel
all in
like
private.
every now and then I do come across somebody and I'm like, oh, that person doesn't like white people. That's like Malcolm X descendant or something, Nation of Islam person or something. But it happens very rarely, and I think it happens inversely a lot more to people of color than the inverse. So it's like every now, I don't think I have it coming. It makes me feel bad. But again, it's like it's not like it's not something I go through every fucking day. I get tired of
Yeah.
hearing about. I get tired of hearing about the whole thing. But on the same token, I don't know what to say about it. I'm not the one that it happens to every day. I don't know. Comics is a business, and he said something that's not really supported by their editorial platforms. They have a right as a business to not carry him. I don't think it's going to stop the popularity of Dilbert being, as you know, Disney's just made a huge deal to close Disney World in Orlando and open up Dilbert Land with a J.K. Rowling tie-in where the Dilbert cartoons are actually little calendars on all the wizards' deaths in the new J.K. Rowling world. And they walk through the pictures like they would anywhere else and all stuff. And it's a fabulous synergy that's going to take place. And I think it's exciting, and it gives this new coming up company another 89 years of copyright free infringement where they can really market these two things together without any kind of intellectual infringement from the outside world, which Disney, is every day that goes by, they lose more and more of their intellectual property because they stole it from old German people to begin with. But I guess that's all I've got to say about that.
Well, you know what, Pease? First of all,
That was good radio, Pease. Good radio.
Reverend Good Radio Pease, everybody.
.com.
There he is. But first of all, Pease, your whole argument of like you have a bunch of black friends. Look, I have some subgenius friends, but I largely hate subgeniuses.
Absolutely.
So that doesn't hold water. And second of all, the only reason we're talking about it and the only reason that you're complaining about seeing it so much online is because it's getting pushed. This is engineered. You're not just happening to see these things. This whole thing started because a conservative organization polled black people and asked them if they thought it would be okay to be white, knowing that they would get the lopsided results that they would, so that they could push it out to people to stir the fucking pot.
That was the United States Coast Guard that made that survey.
That is a fairly conservative organization, yeah.
Yes.
And remember, it's not that white people and black when it comes to the blacks, nobody was saying that black people can't be racist.
Well,
they were telling black people they can't be racist. There's a difference in that. And you should pick your side of history you're going to be on.
Oh no, I think within, I even like to use the word community because I think it's derisive. So if I say black community, it's like automatically excluding, the rest of the people that might live in that area.
Which black community? Which one? There's only one, right?
How do I decide what that is? But let me, just for the sake of argument, when life was simpler, and we had intellectual discussions about this, let's go back to Spike Lee's movie, Do the Right Thing, which goes in depth. It may not be Do the Right Thing. I think it is. But it was, he did make a movie, and it may not be Do the Right Thing, but he made a movie that was all about, within the black community, the racism they had with each other based on the tone of their skin. and terms that they were using in the slave days. And I don't even know if it's socially appropriate for me as a white person to even talk about these things. But things like high yeller, octoroon, all these things were associated with different colors of blackness. And that in the black community for decades, since slave times or even during slave time, lighter skinned blacks were given more opportunity than darker skinned blacks. And that it's ingrained in the community. And even this today, as racist as we might think they're being towards us, they can be even more so racist to their own community. Now, this is an issue that's brought up by a very famous black director talking about his experiences as a black person. It's not me just,
Steven
this is my
Spielberg.
takeaway. No, it's not Steven. It's Spike Lee, man. He's a great basketball fan and director, and he's made some fabulous socially conscious movies. And I think that I wonder if he has the same take on that film as he does now, because the media portrays the black community as this united front, and I would say no, that's not true. The media tries to ignore the fact that even within a group, when everyone is quote unquote the same, they will find ways to segment themselves into individual cliques within that. And that the movie that I'm addressing, that Spike Lee made, addresses that specific problem within I hate to use the word community, because I like to feel that I'm a part of the community that they're talking about, just not in that clique, not in that way. But here's the thing, because white people have done the same thing. It's like,
No, we haven't.
Irish.
No, we haven't.
Yes, we have.
No, we haven't.
Did it with Italians.
No.
We did it with Italians. We did it with Irish.
No.
We did it with every new group that came.
They're not white people.
Sure. Huh? Well, we are now. We're honorary.
Yeah, and that's where everybody's going to be pretty soon. And then once everybody's white, no one will be.
Now, what do you think's going to happen when? And it's coming, especially in California. And I don't know how I feel about it. I'm a second generation American. My family wasn't really here for any of this shit. And again, I might be speaking from a point of privilege, but the point being is California is getting very, very close to considering giving reparations. And the federal government has many, many studies where they're considering giving people that can trace their family history to some aspect of slavery or some impact by the slave trade reparations that were promised to them after the Civil War, which was, at the time, land-rich country, 40 acres and a mule. And you could make that promise to 5 million people. But those 5 million people now are 75 million people in this country. What's going to happen when they all get reparations and then everybody else doesn't? Some aspect of slavery or some I just don't know.
You're talking about like post-adjunct reparations.
Yeah.
When white people finally, get something back.
Dave Chappelle did a skit about this. And his main reason, and again, this is Dave Chappelle. It's not my joke. I don't want people to get mad at me for telling or paraphrasing Dave Chappelle's joke. But when Dave Chappelle talked about reparations being given,
You're talking about like post-adjunct reparations.
Right, and all his friends are driving. I got me a truck of food.
Get something back.
And they're all playing time. Listen, why are we time looping?
It's a time loop.
And again, this is Dave Chappelle. It's not my joke. I don't want people to get mad at me for telling.
I'm not getting mad at you. You're the one, because you said that you knew at least one African American that it makes it
I
okay
know way more
to
than one.
label Spike.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So it's okay when you said Spike Lee was an avid basketball fan. I'm glad that you were able to bring those two things together. What you didn't do was make a joke about how the guy that draws cartoons about PowerPoint interprets data. That's what it is. I'm not getting mad at you.
Because you said that you
I can't hear you because of the feedback.
It's a time loop.
Yeah, exactly. So it's okay when you said.
That's all I want to say about that.
He makes cartoons about PowerPoint and he interprets data like that. I've got nothing.
Actually, I should say to the viewers that as we record the show, Dr. Fox and Reverend Pease cannot hear the music bed that I'm playing. And I gotta say that the 1980s synthwave that I put underneath Pease's commentary about the state of race relations was bread and butter.
Did they laugh?
Showrogan thought it was okay.
Only mildly problematic.
See, I feel bad because I don't have an opinion. I shouldn't be allowed. This is where Scott Adams fucked up.
What do you mean you don't have an opinion? You just went on for the last 10 minutes with an opinion.
No, that's that's potential experimental comedy stuff. It's I understand. I don't really have an opinion on this. Just a poor boy.
No, what I heard, Pease, is that you think we need to sit black people down and explain to them what racism is. That's what I heard you say.
No, I was saying that every group of people has racism within their own groups. Even the Aryan Brotherhood. There's some Aryan brothers that the other Aryan brothers are like, yeah, those fucking Slavs. Fuck those guys.
There's some Aryan brothers that are like, I hate Pease's hat.
Right, exactly. And I got like the neck tattoos and everything. They're not permanent ones, but
Can we make a new sitcom called Aryan Brothers?
Undercover Aryan Brothers.
Yeah, it's two black guys in whiteface. And they move from the suburbs to a trailer park, and every week they try to infiltrate the local Klan meetings. But
what's their name?
But the Klan's just one step ahead of them the whole way. They know something's going on. They keep tricking them.
Edgar and Cletus.
Yeah, in the pilot episode, the Aryan brothers are having the boss over for Hot Pockets, but they almost forget to hide the bottle. They almost forget to hide the bottle of Hennessy before the boss gets there.
No, we're hitting it wrong. The Aryan brothers, you got to hit the brothers. The Aryan brothers are all black brothers.
And they're just named the Aryans.
Yeah, the Aryans. They don't know what it means.
Actually, the word.
We could get Kanye for that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They just think the symbol looks cool.
If you forget about the word
Thor,
Aryan means, it would actually make a pretty good first name for a black guy.
Aryan. Aryan. He's not heavy. He's my brother.
Arian Whitaker. He plays defensive line for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Forrest Arian Wicker.
All right, there's a lot of show notes
of
left.
The Elks.
Oh, Wicker. Okay. Nicolas Cage.
Line 43 of the show notes is blank. Line 44 says segment 4, paid copy. All right, so this is the part where we do some business.
Favorite part of the show.
You know what? Whatever happened to Big Black Smock? I thought we had a good thing with them. You normally send in our copy.
It was pretty good. I mean, there was a little bit of feedback concerning
Made me
Pease's
uncomfortable.
unwillingness to read the copy as was requested on the show. But it actually turns out that I believe the whole product was recalled after one of the cheese-filled goo centers inside the Black Smock food log actually gave somebody a 3rd-degree burn.
Just think of how bad it must have been for that after what I said tonight was the thing I drew the line at. Oh no, I'm not saying that.
That you threw the wine at?
No, it's my teeth. I said, never mind. Just go ahead. Go on with your.
When the show gets bad enough, you take your teeth out. Is that what you're saying?
No, I didn't say that.
All right. Well. Are you going to read tonight's paid copy piece?
I think I looked at that, and Fit is so good at reading stuff.
Yeah, but
Don't
it says
you
in the
like
notes
it?
I have to do like intro music and shit.
Oh man, that's rough.
Okay.
Oh no, this has
Well,
the thing in it.
why don't we-
I guess it's not
why don't-
updated. It's not updated. Oh, here it is. This will be it.
All right, here we go.
Did we talk about Dilbert?
And now it's time for another exciting product from the makers of things you didn't know existed. Introducing the Pointless Box. And I can't read and twist the nipples at the same time. There we go. The Pointless Box.
Yes, folks, that's right. The Pointless Box. The box that has nothing inside. No prizes, no coupons, no money, no free coffee. Just one empty box. You might be thinking, why would I want an empty box? Well, we've got a few reasons. For starters, it's a great conversation starter. Imagine walking into a party with your Pointless Box under your arm. People will wonder, what's in the box? And you can just smile enigmatically and say, nothing. Instant icebreaker.
Sound effect, people laughing and chatting.
And for those of you who love a good prank, the Pointless Box is perfect. Hide it in your friend's office or put it in a coworker's locker. They'll be tearing their hair out trying to figure out why they got a box with nothing in it.
What the hell is this?
But wait, there's more! The Pointless Box also doubles as a stress ball. Feeling anxious or overwhelmed? Just hold the box and imagine all your problems disappearing. Or if you're feeling really adventurous, toss the box in the air and catch it. It's like playing catch with yourself.
I'm throwing this up and catching the box.
And let's not forget about the environmental benefits. That Pointless Box is made from 100% recycled cardboard. So not only are you getting a box with nothing inside, you're also saving the planet.
Sounds of nature.
But don't just take our word for it. Listen to those satisfied customers have to say.
I wasn't sure about the Pointless Box at first, but now I can't imagine my life without it. It's like my own personal Zen garden. I got one for my sister's birthday, and she was so confused. It was hilarious.
I put it on my bookshelf, and it makes me look smart. People think I have some sort of avant-garde art piece.
People laughing and chatting.
So what are you waiting for? Order your very own Pointless Box today.
Phone ringing.
Operators are standing by.
Phone ringing and someone answering. Thank you for calling Pointless Box headquarters. How may I assist you? Phone hangs up.
And there you have it, folks. The Pointless Box. Order now and receive the $7 for twice the knocking.
Good tagline. I like that.
And we're back to time for the show right here on Free Think Radio. Mopping up, because as I look at the show notes, we are at line 73, which is blank! Line 74 says, segment 5, influenza SIRS. Okay, I don't know what that bit is. And line 75 does not offer any clues because it is blank. Line 76 of the show notes says, ask the hosts about people in the public eye. Suggestions include, oh no, Elon Musk, who recently stated in replies to tweets about the host, about the Scott Adams controversy, said that the media is racist against whites and Asians. All right, that's
It's like a big
suggestion.
racial team up. It's whites and Asians versus everyone else in a
Elon Musk.
winner tin match. Do you know that Elon Musk, little known fact, if you like Jovian body wash, that is Musk scented, and it's actually based on Elon Musk's actual scent.
He's my favorite African American.
Yeah. He lives in the house.
Line
Will Smith
81 of
lived
the
in that.
show notes is blank. Line 82 of the show notes says, oh wait, no, I skipped. Line 80 has our second suggestion of the influenza sirs bit, where we're supposed to talk about people in the public eye.
Yeah, but every time we fuck around with the COVID stuff and the like Willie Harrelson does, we get banned. So I think we should just go right into shout outs.
Well, as we mentioned
talk about
earlier,
COVID stuff, that'll be it for us. That'll be the
as
last
we mentioned
bit.
earlier, all of the show notes are now being written by Showrogan, who is a ChatGPT based AI whose only data set is information from the Time for the Show website, which is timefortheshow.com. And what I think he's doing now is he's writing the show notes. He's just prompting us for more information to build his data set. So I'm starting to feel like I'm becoming complicit in an AI growing itself to eventually take over the world. But if there was any AI that was going to take over the world, and there will be one, I would prefer if it was Showrogan.
Come on, everybody, try my new AI now. Come on, baby, try our new AI now.
Saving
Well, you
that
know
since last week, haven't you?
Nice try, Showrogan, but I'm going to skip right to line 81 of the show notes, which is blank. And line 82 of the show notes says, segment 6, shout outs. Dr. Fox, do you want to pick up line 83?
Sure, buddy. Thanks. We here at TFTS are proud to offer you the most mind-bending, paradigm-shifting, and downright bizarre content you'll find anywhere on the internet. But we can't do it alone. We need your support to keep the madness flowing. That's why we're calling on all of our dedicated listeners to join our Patreon and become a part of the Hypercube community. Not only will you get access to exclusive bonus content, behind-the-scenes glimpses, and other perks, but you'll also be supporting the continued existence of our show and everything we stand for. And if that's not enough, we're also inviting you to join our Discord server and connect with other like-minded individuals who share your passion for the weird and wonderful. We've got channels for discussion, collaboration, gaming, and just about everything else you could imagine. All with a healthy dose of absurdity and non sequiturs, of course. So what are you waiting for? Don't think, just do it. Join our Patreon and become a part of the Hypercube today. And remember, when the rest of the world is spinning out of control, there's only one place to turn to for your daily dose of insanity. All available at www.timefortheshow.com. These fine people have our gratitude for supporting Subject T Change, Bob South, Longdead, Hazel of the Windmills, Caller 23, Dr. Cosmac. Get your shout out for just $1 at patreon.com/hypercube and on the blockchain at backed.by/hypercube. Okay, I'm done.
That brings us to line 91 of the show notes, which is blank!
I was going to say that.
I was waiting for you to say it.
I didn't. It was blank.
But line 92 is not blank. It says, segment 7, Peas apologizes. Apologizes. My Quaalude is kicking in.
Nice.
Line 93 of the show notes says, the traditional ending segment where Peas recaps the episode and apologizes for it in his own unique way.
Aw.
So, I guess what I'm going to apologize for tonight is probably going on and on about the black struggle without actually being black. And again, I tried to say it during the segment, but it's probably
Wait, you're not
something
black?
I should mind my own business. It's really the work of a Slav. But here's the thing. I have found, especially in the comedical sense from having cancer, that life is too short, and that I need to make friends with all God's children. Although I don't really believe in God, so I haven't seen any of his children. Just a bunch of arrogant monkeys. But nonetheless, I need to be nicer to you people. And I think it's important to stress that there are a lot of things good about the earth, but there's a lot of bad things right now. And if you only focus on the bad things and you don't listen to the good things, and you don't get too upset about not getting the train ride at the zoo, and sorry that the giraffes had a death match before you got there and they had to be separated. But be thankful that you weren't there to see the death match. While you as an adult might have enjoyed it, young children could have been traumatized. So let's just move on from that whole horrific story. But other than that,
Check it.
Huh?
Nothing. Keep going.
Well, I'm just saying, I've reached into this Norm Macdonald voice a couple of times tonight. God rest his soul. But I'm sorry for everything we're doing, but it's okay. We're just monkeys on a big ball.
No, Peas, it's not okay. That's why you're apologizing.
All right, well, I'm done.
Because earlier you complained that the viewer questions weren't really questions, and I feel like I just got a Peas apology that wasn't really an apology.
Standards.
Are you
It's
sorry?
8:02. Sorry, because it's 8:02. I turn into a pumpkin in about 3 or 4 minutes. I can grab my piece of chicken and Neapolitan Eskimo sandwich. Since I made that rant about the Eskimos last week, I noticed that suddenly and strangely the Eskimo pies in my frozen freezer were dramatically less than they normally had been. So I think that the Eskimos have plotted against the peas and put some kind of poison or some kind of compound into his delicious Eskimo pies, and then lowered the price to where he could not resist buying them because he's no idiot. But how many must die before the Eskimos can attack and destroy your friend and mine, the peas? Well, I don't know, kids, but stay tuned next week and we just might find out. That's time for the show.
All right, Peas. Well, if you want to tap out, I think you can do so, because even though line 94 of the show notes is blank, line 95 of the show notes says outro. And it appears to be a poem that's written by none other than our very own Showrogan. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. I believe it is the poem from last week.
Great. It's my least favorite part of the show, a poem by...
That makes it my favorite.
By our very own AI language model named Showrogan. Man, actually, maybe Peas, you should hang around because you might want to apologize for this one.
No, I'm done.
All right.
See you next week, peace. Watch your step around that corner. Hey, you dropped your vagina.
Yep. It's got sand on it. God damn you kids. I told you to sweep up.
That would have been good. That would have helped in high school, peace. I wish I had that one.
This poem does not have a title, but it does begin on line 96 of the show notes, which say, "As the sun sets on another day and we bid farewell to the airwaves fray, we pause to reflect on all we've learned. all the wisdom and humor we've earned. From the depths of our minds, we've dredged the absurd, the strange, the unalleged, and we've shared it all with you, our friends, as the show comes to an end. But fear not, for we'll be back with more tales of the bizarre and abstract, more rants and raves and ridiculousness as we explore the human consciousness. So until next time, stay weird and wild. Embrace the madness. Let your mind run wild. And remember, above all else, don't think. Just be yourself.
Click.
Line 112 of the show notes is blank. And I'll let Fox pick up line 113 all the way to the end.
You want a specific voice for line 113?
Your second best voice. I want that one.
Special thanks to our broadcasting host at freethinkradio.com. Thanks for Rubik's Cube for our kick-ass theme song. We broadcast live every Monday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. If you're listening on YouTube, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. You can join our Discord server, Hypercom, and subscribe to Time for the Show's podcast feed at www.timefortheshow.com or on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Stitcher. Please leave a review and rating in your preferred app. You can send your nasty letters to email at timefortheshow.com. Don't think. We'll see you next week. And the next line isn't blank, it's just in the document for me. Baby. Geez, you're still here. Oh.
And that's it. We now return you to your regularly scheduled freethinkradio.com programming.
.com.